Hello. In your folder, or you can print them, please locate the notes that say distance in the coordinate plane. On the side there, I wrote it as lesson 7-4. In this lesson, you will learn how to find the length of a leg segment on the coordinate plane using the Pythagorean theorem. So let's review. Given a right triangle, as in the picture, remember that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. C is always the hypotenuse. It's always the longest side. Or if you are missing one of the legs, remember that c squared minus, it could be a or b squared, equals the other letter squared. Always remember that a and b are the legs. They are touching the right angle. C is your hypotenuse. That is the side opposite the right angle. And C is always the longest side. A common mistake is when asked to find the distance of A and B, some students want to count, but we can't tell the units based on counting. What we need to do is we need to set up a right triangle and then use the Pythagorean theorem to solve the problem. Let's look at the first example. In this example, we're trying to find the length from A to B. Okay, we can't just count because it's going on a diagonal. So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to actually make this a right triangle. So I'm going to get from A to B by going left and then up. Now you should see a right triangle. What you need to notice is the length of each of those sides. So the length from A to this corner right here, which is our right angle, this is 3 spaces. And the length from the corner up to B is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces up. So now we're going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, because notice we're missing the hypotenuse. So I'm going to do 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. I'm going to call that hypotenuse c. I know that 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. That is going to equal c squared. I add 9 plus 16, I get 25 equals c squared. My last step is I'm going to take the square root to get the c by itself. C equals 5. So the distance from A to B is 5. Again, it's on a diagonal, so you can't count that. You may also remember that this is our special right triangle because its sides length are 3, 4, and 5. So if you ever see a triangle with legs that are 3 and 4, if you remember this, the hypotenuse will be 5. Now let's look at the next example. Let's look at example 2. Now they're asking me to find the distance between these 2 points. Now, they're not putting the dots on the graph, so I'm going to do that since they give me a graph. The first ordered pair is left 5, down 6, and I need to put a dot right there. The next ordered pair is -2, up 4, and I need to put a dot there. Then what I need to do is connect these with a line. Okay, so we want to find the distance of that red line. And again, it's on a diagonal, so I can't count that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a right triangle between those dots. Okay, and the red line again is my hypotenuse. My right angle is right in the corner there. Okay, so now I'm going to count the base. I'm going to count the base. And I notice it's 1, 2, 3 is my base. Then I'm going to count the height. How many dots high is this? It goes from -6 up to +4. So that would be 10. So now I'm going to set up my equation. 3 squared plus 10 squared equals c squared. I know 3 squared is 9, 10 squared is 100. That has to equal c squared. I add them together, I get 109 equals c squared. Then I take the square root of each side. I use my calculator and I got c equals 10.4. Remember, the hypotenuse should be the longest side, and 10.4 is longer than both 10 and 3, so my answer makes sense. Now let's look at example 3. We're looking for the shortest distance between the two houses. Again, because it's on a diagonal, I can't count. So I'm going to create a right triangle. Now, there's two different right triangles. I should have said this earlier. You could create one down here, or you could create one up here. Okay, so either one will work for you. I'm going to use the one I did in blue. So I'm going to count what are the spaces along the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I would just make sure again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, make sure that you're counting correctly. If you count up in the yellow at the top, it also should be 9. Then I'm going to count my vertical distance, the up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So those are my legs, 9 and 13. Now I'm going to set up the math. 9 squared plus 13 squared equals c squared. 9 squared is 81. 13 squared is 169 equals c squared. Anytime you need a calculator, use it. Then we're going to add 81 and 169, and we get 250 equals c squared. And my last step is to take the square root. If you forget to take the square root and you think the answer is 250, look at that line. There's no way it's going to be 250 units long. So remember, on your calculator, you're going to take the square root of 250, and I get 15.8. I'm going to round to the nearest tenth since it doesn't tell me what to round to. So 15.8. That makes sense. That is the longest side. Now here are the two U-try problems. What I would like you to do right now is I would like you to pause this video. I would like you to actually do these two problems. Then I want you to unpause it and check your work. After that, I have assigned you an assignment. Check Google Classroom. Some classes may have a Khan assignment to do. Other classes will have a Savas assignment to do. Just check the assignment in Google Classroom. Now I'm going to put the answers on here. Make sure you pause it, do your own, and then come back and check your answer. The answer to the first U-try is 7.2. So the distance of that red line is 7.2. The answer to the second one, the distance between the park and the grocery store, is 8.1. Remember, I rounded to the nearest tenth. When in doubt, do that. Good luck on the classwork assignment. Please check Google Classroom.